and how you can further pursue the career into it, and maybe structure yourself to excel in this field. So just before I start, I just wanted to maybe take couple of minutes to understand from you guys, like, what according to you is data science. Anybody have any views? Okay, I guess okay, quite, I guess. So I'll maybe describe it a little bit. So, according to me, everything you see around is a data, right? Be it anything that you're speaking, you are looking at in the form of image, or be it you are when you're dialing a phone, or you're typing a text on your message box, or when you're buying something on the website or on your app. So everything is just everything you touch somehow becomes a data, right? And the intelligence or the science that you apply on the top of the data to basically get the output from that, or to make that useful, is basically the science. And you combine that science and data, you get the data science, right? Data science is not just the fancy stuff you see around, like AI and ML modeling. It's also when you structure the data and get the insights of it for the purpose of, let's say, product building, or maybe for sales purpose, or operations, or it could be for various different purposes. So data science is starts from right from when you do something on the Excel, and it goes up till when you start doing something very sophisticated on the big machines, like AI and machine learning. So yeah, so basically, I would like to say that data science pretty much everything that you see around. Uh, in If you have gone around, like in the last 2 3 years, it has it has increased multifold in terms of the use cases, with the evolution of the startup world around us. So you see that everything is going digital on apps, basically, and whatever goes digital, so it makes everything data oriented. So everything that, for example, if you open one of your apps, for example WhatsApp, right? So when you write something, you get certain recommendation on the top of it, right? That while you're writing it, it predicts, or it tells you in advance what you want to write. So that is basically nothing but uh, artificial intelligence, or you can say machine learning, that is sitting in the back end. So maybe when you get an email from certain company for offers, right? So that is also powered by the data, right? So what offers that you should be getting, or what communication you should be getting, when you should be getting communication, is all powered by the data. So, I mean, in from the 2024 perspective, I mean, the current year perspective, I think this is, for me, this is the one of the hottest field to be in, if you are really passionate about it. Uh, uh, in terms of coming on to the how, like, uh, anyone starting in this field can structure themselves, or maybe start the journey, is basically, uh, I would say, first, I think as a starter, I would suggest anyone to maybe focus on the fundamentals first, because unless you, rather than jumping into the ready-made codes, or ready-made libraries, or ready-made solutions, I would say if you can focus on the fundamentals, uh, that will help you a lot. I mean, it will go a long way in taking your career ahead. When I say fundamentals, fundamental by fundamentals, I mean, data science is nothing but just, you can say, business understanding, plus your intuition, plus some bit of calculus, some bit of linear algebra. So mathematics part is, something which you really need to be good at. So I would say, if you are starting your journey, I think two things that you can start focusing on is, one is the mathematics part, which is basically learning the calculus and basic stuff, not the very fancy stuff, but basic stuff, linear algebra in calculus. And the second bit is obviously the coding part. You need to be good at coding. You need to be passionate about it, because unless you are passionate about it, it's very difficult to convert those thoughts into the solution part. So ultimately, whenever you are thinking about a problem statement or you're thinking about a solution, so you need to have like a flow, right? First you think about it from the business standpoint, then you convert it into a data problem, then you see what kind of data you have, and then you try to build a solution on the top of that. And at the last bit would comes it like execution part, where you do some bit of coding and convert that into a solution, which would then help the business teams or in the business use cases. So that's, I mean, long story short is basically, in early if you are early in your career, then the only thing that you should be focusing is on fundamentals rather than focusing on the big uh, goals. So I mean, for me, every journey, I mean, becoming a or excelling in any field is a journey, right? It's not a one day thing. So every journey has its own milestones basically. So you need to you need to focus on the small short term milestones, and the long term goals will be achieved automatically. So I mean, right now, I think if you are like in your college or graduation, just graduated, then I think you should be focusing on the fundamentals. I think that is one suggestion I would strongly give you. Like, instead of and focusing on the like big fancy stories around, right? Yeah, that those are maybe important to motivate you, but in terms of keeping yourself grounded and focusing on the things that you should be. Uh, any questions till now?
As of now, there are no questions. You can go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. Now coming on to maybe there are a lot of I mean, when I went through my career, I mean, probably uh, uh, I was always like, there was always some bit of confusion around, like there are like thousands of resources available on internet, right? Uh, I mean, there are course today there are courses available as well from the reputed organizations, or institutions or universities, you can say. But apart from that, if you want to do it yourself, then also there are like thousands of resources which are available online, right? Be it let's say Coursera, Udemy, or let's say this analytics Vidya, etc. So then the first question comes to mind is come to me is that which one should I pick and start focusing on? Because sometimes I read one bit of article somewhere and then get switched to another article, and then the actual purpose gets lost, or maybe I get confused and then I eventually give up. So something like that should not happen if you are really focused about it. So in order to solve it, I think one thing you can probably do is that pick one or two resources and just focus on that, instead of surfing through web and going on through uh, 10, 20, 30 resources. That will just clutter your mind and confuse you rather than give you better information. So in terms of resources that maybe I have used, that I can suggest you that you can use to learn and uh, focus on, I mean, building your career is for the even so one resource which is really good, I would say, uh, is Stanford uh, website. So Stanford, I think everybody might know, all of you might know that Stanford is a big institution, you can say, in terms of research, in terms of the people that it has produced over years. I mean, the good people, even the good work in terms of research and the outcomes has come from the Stanford basically. Uh, so I basically, if you go to one other resource is Coursera also has a lot of good stuff from the professors, or you can say the alumni of Stanford. So Coursera is one resource where you can go and audit the resource. You don't have to pay anything, you can do it for free. And if you want any kind of certification also, that you can get by paying a very minimal amount. Even if you don't want to pay, you can still audit the course and do the learning part. And if you want to, maybe go more deep into it, and you learn the basics of everything, and what maybe the people who are actually doing the courses at Stanford, right? So that's a you can go to their website, Stanford, and then they have everything available in terms of lectures to the notes to everything, right? uh, I think you guys are, I think I would say, are lucky to have that. I don't think we had at our time we had that kind of information at our disposal. So with the this invent of like technology and coming up of digital means, I think the knowledge is now accessible in a much better way to all of you. Uh, so Stanford, I would say, is one resource that I also still today when face some want to learn something, I just go there and find the relevant topic and start doing it. That is one. And Coursera, I think, is another good place, and there are other bunch of other platforms where you can take courses and learn that. In terms of platforms that you can probably use to practice or maybe again enhance your knowledge or understanding is I think Analytics Vidya, as per my understanding, is a decent platform where you can go and learn things and also participate in various kind of competitions, which would just increase your knowledge, or you can it will or your expertise in that topic, right? Another one is Kaggle, I think, is one platform which people use. I mean, the people who are actually serious about it, they do use extensively. So it also has it is a kind of community, I would say, not just a platform wherein all the data scientists from around the world, not just from India, like come and participate in various challenges, and then also share the various kind of innovative methods or solutions that they have. Okay, you can find all the problem statements there, data there, various kind of solutions there to learn from. And then the good thing about that is that Kaggle is that you have the all the infrastructure also available within the website itself. You can go there and build a solution, test it, validate it, and implement there itself. So they have evolved quite a lot over years, and now you can access all of it in just just from your browser. I think that's a big thing to have today. uh yeah, this is about like how you can go about it. uh Another thing I would say is that so what I have felt over years is that so having a good understanding of data, so maybe mathematics and coding part is one bit of it, but another part that you have to develop maybe, and it's not a one day job, that it's a again a journey, right? It's a lifelong kind of journey that you will have to pursue, is that you have to start thinking about things and problem statements around you from the business standpoint. So at the end of day, whatever you're going to solution you're going to work upon, or the data or the machine learning or data science thing that you're going to work upon, it's all going to use some use case in terms of business or industry, right? So you need to think everything around you from the business standpoint. For example, very simple examples could be that you're going let's say to market to buy vegetables, right, or fruits, right? So you need to think of it from the economic standpoint, that uh, what cost that for example, I'm digressing a little bit, but I think it's relevant in the overall perspective, that that economic sense, that what it would be costing to the let's say the salesman, and how much he would be selling, how what margin he would be making, why is he not selling at higher price, why he's not selling at a lower price, things like that. uh, for example, it could be that when you are, let's say, we all use WhatsApp, right? For I told you earlier as well that, for example, you get certain recommendation at the top, that even before you write, it tells you what you are going to write or maybe what you can write. So uh, you need to think how it could be doing that, right? So that all is a use cases that you need to think, what are all the use cases maybe there are some use cases still where the solution has not been figured out, and that there is what there is opportunity lies, right, where you can build something new and actually add the value. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, I mean, I can talk more about it, but I would rather, I would want to hear from you guys if you have any particular question, or maybe I can, get into it.
Uh, yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Acha, okay, okay. No, there is some issue with my internet connection here. Okay, so we don't have any questions as of now, but I would also request the attendees who are there, and if they want to clarify something regarding the topic, and if they want to clarify something regarding their next step in their career, they can do so. I mean, if we have something else, I'm Piyush, would you like to share something else on the topic before we proceed?
No, I think, I mean, there are like, again, I would want to reiterate that a few of the advices that I've already given, that just stick to the fundamentals. Don't,
Huh.
let all the information around I mean, confuse or clutter your mind, right? Just stay focused, pick one or two resources, good resources, just focus, keep your head down and keep learning and keep doing the stuff. The success will eventually come, the learning will eventually come. It's just the one who is persistent in the industry, one who is focused, uh, that one will go ahead and actually do something out of it. So that, I mean, keeping that learning, I mean, those few basic things with you all the time will help you a long way. So yeah.
Okay. So meanwhile, I have also launched a quick feedback poll for people who are still attending. You can just let us know if you liked the session and if it was helpful. So yeah, thanks a lot. There are some responses that are coming in. So I think that is it, because we don't see that there are any questions from the live questions from the audience as yet. I will also be sharing the YouTube link for this session with you guys, so that if you want to revisit the session, if you missed out something, you can do so. So I'm just sharing it here in the chat window, and you can pick it up from there. So I think we have some responses to the poll. So I'm just ending the poll here. All right. So thank you so much for the attendees who joined us today on a Saturday morning. And last but not the least, thank you so much, Piyush, for coming on and sharing your insights. I'm pretty sure that the people who did join us today were able to take a lot from you today.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like it's. I mean, I think it's always a good thing. I mean, I feel really happy to share any kind of experience or learnings that I have with my, let's say, younger self.
Yes,
Uh, the people who are already going through what I have already
definitely.
gone through. So, I mean, if any bit of thing
Uh-huh.
that I told you helps you, I think I will be really really happy with that. I mean, there's nothing like that. If
Yeah.
I'm able to help any one of you. So if like there's anything, please feel free to reach out to Niharika. She will share details.
Yeah. Acha, there is one question that we have, which we can address. As an economics graduate, how much will
Okay.
I fit into data science?
I mean, you are like I mean, if you are from an economics background or a mathematics background or from a, let's say, computer science background, I think you are very very apt for the field, right? So I mean, if in my understanding, if you are like economics graduate or economics pursuing economics, you must be having a good stuff of understanding, good amount of understanding about the mathematics part as well, right? I think there are econometrics part as well there in economics, which teaches you about the basic mathematics. And you, since you are already going through economics, you are covering the business part as well. So I think you are very much, if you can just pursue the little bit of coding skills and have passion for the same field, like, right? So you are going to go a long way. So there are a lot of economy. I know personally know
Okay.
there are a lot of people from
Hmm.
economics background who have done really really well in this field.
Okay, so I guess that answers Advika's question. All right, so I think that brings us to the end of the session. And once again, Piyush, thank you so much for taking out the time on a weekend
Yeah,
and
yeah, no issues.
coming on board. Yeah, yeah. All
Thank you,
right.
everyone. I
Thank
think thanks
you.
for attending the session
Yeah.
and thanks for having me today. I think it was a great session.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was, it was. Thank you. Thank you so much.